It is April the 21st today, and as you can see, we got snow last night. How dreadful. So I did bring all my trees in from the greenhouse, all my tropical trees. So let's go have a look at the greenhouse now. Here's a look at the bonsai area. At least the older part of it. So yeah, everything's looking nice with snow on it. That's pretty cool. Hopefully everything will do well. You can see the snow on top of the maple leaves here. Down here on top of the larch. That larch forest looks pretty cool in there. I don't know if the soil is frozen. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we got down to -3 last night. Pines are looking cool. So yeah, we'll just have to see how everything did. So far, these leaves don't look so good. They're kind of droopy. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. In the greenhouse here, let's see what temperature it is. It is, it's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, or maybe 4 degrees Celsius, 4 or 5. Yeah, so I brought some of my more tender trees in here. I've got my redwood in here, or not my redwood, my bald cypress, which I don't know. I hope it's alive, but I have no idea. Still no signs of life much on it. I thought I saw buds popping on it in spring, but see, like right here, I think I see one, but I don't know. I'll have to wait. Yeah, everything else looks fine. My little royal oaks here, Osage oranges, still have the green buds on them. I'm not sure about these bayberries, if they survive the winter. I haven't seen any signs of life on those yet either. Got the ginkgo in here. You can see the green buds forming on the ginkgo there. So yeah, and then I have a black locust in here. My wife found it growing in her garden, and she dug it up for me and gave it to me. And then look what the rabbits did this year. It used to be quite a tall tree, so there is green buds popping out on it. So I'm hoping, once again, the rabbits know what they're doing, and they'll give me a nice little bonsai tree to work with there. So I'll keep you updated on what happens to these leaves in this cold weather, these fresh new leaves. See if they perk up or if they die off, and then, sometimes you get a second flush of growth down below here. Usually it doesn't kill the tree, but yeah, it can definitely set them back a bit. But, in spring they have tons and tons of vigor, so hopefully they'll do okay. I don't think the T-Rex likes the cold. It's quite typical to have snow in April here, and even in May, and we've even had snow in June, the first week of June. Just a light snow that didn't last long, but we've had it. I can see the apple tree, the buds are really turning red there. I don't know if you can see that. Up top here, I've got some buds here, and I'm hoping something comes out on this main trunk. Oh yeah, there's a bud at the front and one at the back there. So everything's looking good for the apple tree. So my larch trees, I think I will combine the larches with the black spruce. I think that'll look good. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them here, which is probably a good number. 5 larches, 15 black spruce. I think that'll look quite nice. Douglas firs have snow on them. Oh, I see my silver maple came out in leaf. Awesome. Here's a look at the new bonsai area. Ah, we got our bear there. The Scots pine on the rock. Cool. The bird's nest spruce over there has got snow on it. The elms. My new little cedar forest. Snow on it. A pine over there. All right, well, yeah, that's the update. April the 21st. Lots of snow.
Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. It is a cold, snowy day this morning, and I'm thinking about where I'm going to put the greenhouse.
Originally, I was going to have the greenhouse lengthwise along here. So this is kind of the main path to the backyard. So it would be 90 degrees to my other greenhouse. And then I was thinking, well, in the winter time, the sun is just kind of over the fence. This is the south here. So you get the southern sun. So I think, for optimum heating in the winter, I would want the greenhouse sideways to get the most glass surface area facing the sun, which would mean my doorway would either have to be at the front here or at the back. It might be nice having, the two doors near each other, the door to the plastic greenhouse and the door to the glass greenhouse kind of facing each other. Maybe a central path or something down the middle here. So I've been laying it out. I think I want the edge, this back edge of the greenhouse kind of in line with the edge of this one. So I would maintain this pathway here. So the side of the greenhouse would be kind of around this area, and then it would come over to about here. I think that would be best. So I've got to remove this stump here. This was our old cherry tree. We started from a small tree and it grew fantastic, and then one year it just died. It just didn't come out in leaf. So I'm not sure what happened to it, if it got diseased or if it just, I don't know, winter killed it somehow, but it died. So I got to remove that stump there to kind of clear this area out a bit more. It's getting there. I've got a lot of this stuff cleared out of here. So if the greenhouse backs up against the path, then I'm going to have to move my filming studio over more or in a different location. I'll have to rearrange everything kind of around the greenhouse. But I'm kind of constrained. I have the pear tree here and I've got the maple over here. So I've kind of got to have the greenhouse in the middle between them. So this sort of garden here, which has raspberries and gooseberries and currants in it, I may have to move a section of it more over this direction. I hate to dig up some of these plants because they're so established, especially these gooseberries, and they're flowering at the moment, even though there's snow on them, but I may have to do that or prune them back a little more to get the space in between the two trees for the greenhouse here. So that's my dilemma. I mean, everything in life is a compromise. The other thing with the greenhouse, when the sun's really low on the horizon, the fence kind of, if you picture the angle of the light coming down, if I have the greenhouse too close to the fence, it'll stay in shadow, the benches in the greenhouse. I've noticed in the winter time that this greenhouse, the one bench will stay in the shadow all winter, and this one gets light. So I need, the back edge of the greenhouse at least out to this edge, which it will be. And that way it'll get light on the benches for the whole winter. So my first job, I'm going to remove this cherry stump with the axe. So I'll be doing some lumberjacking.
All right.
So I'm in the process, I've got to remove all these raspberries that are growing here, raspberry plants. There's quite a few clumps of them. Over here I was looking at this gooseberry bush. So the main part of the gooseberry is in here, quite far back. And these are just branches, and some of them branches have rooted because we throw compost on top here. So I think those will come up quite easily, and I can kind of move the fence line back quite a bit, making the edge of the greenhouse kind of somewhere in here. So I'll kind of intrude in the garden space here a bit, but I think that's better. That way it's not jammed up, you know, tight against the pear tree here. The pear tree has flowers coming on it, which is kind of exciting. So I'll continue removing the stump and digging up the raspberries, kind of clearing this spot of land. I've been digging out all the raspberries here, and I'm finding that the stump is quite loose. So there's my box with the raspberries. Rabbits pruned them down, but they'll grow again. Yeah, so I think I can just push the stump out. So I'm going to try. There it goes. Wasn't too hard at all. There it is, the old cherry tree's out. I can see these raspberries were wrapped around the roots of it. Well, that's good, that's out. I can put that in the backyard to decompose. Yeah, that's good to get that out. Now, can I lift it? Oh yeah, I can lift it. Okay. So I've got the cherry tree stump removed. I've got a lot of clumps of raspberries that I gotta dig up here, relocate those. I tell you, I'm not feeling cold today at all. I've got my jacket off and I'm keeping plenty warm doing all this digging and lifting and moving. So that's good. Feels like spring to me out here. The snow is really starting to come down now. It's looking very wintry out here. I have made really good progress on the raspberries. I got this major clump out here. I've got a couple more clumps over in this area that I got to remove still. And I think that's about it. Then I can push this garden edge back. I can prune the currants back over as far as I can anyway. So here's a look at all the raspberry canes I've got out. So I got a good amount of root with each one. I was quite careful getting them out. So yeah, that'll have to get planted elsewhere. Once I have everything cleared in the greenhouse area, I'll have to put 4 stakes in the ground to mark out the area where the pad's going to be located. So I'll measure off the fence to make sure the pad's square to the fence. And then it'll be up to the concrete people to finish the job. So that'll be exciting getting that in. And I don't know when they can do it, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Just keeping an eye on me. Oh, there it goes. It's having a drink.
I've been looking at the site again, and I may be rethinking the orientation of the greenhouse. The sun, it rises in the summer over this direction, goes across the sky and sets right about over here. So, you know, ideally the greenhouse would be put on sort of this angle. So that's kind of 45 degrees to either direction if I have it lengthwise this way or lengthwise this way. So I think if I did have it lengthwise this way, I'm getting all this afternoon and setting sunlight kind of almost sideways on the greenhouse. So I think it would be just as good as having it sideways, because, you know, you get this pine tree blocking sun. I got the pear tree here. I got all these maples. So I don't get a lot of sun kind of this direction until it's quite high in the sky. So I don't think it really matters which direction I put it, and I think to fit it in between this pear tree and this maple here, I think lengthwise is the better choice. If I have it sideways, I'm pretty tight to both ends here. So if I have it lengthways, it fits in better. I still have to clear these gooseberry bushes back a bit. I'll have to dig up the ones that have rooted, push them back a bit just so they can get room to get in here to dig out this soil to pour the pad. This soil is really good. Like, it's good soil, you know, down really deep. We've been, you know, putting wood chips and compost in this area for, well, 25 years, and it's really built up with really good soil. So we're going to get that soil dug out, and then we'll get it skid steered down behind that mound in the backyard, and that'll be our compost pile, and we can use that soil when we're gardening and that, and it's good stuff. So that's where the soil will go, and then they'll put down gravel here, compact it down, and then the cement pad will go on top of that, and then it'll get backfilled. Yeah, so my next job is to move this gooseberry line back. So I'll dig out what I can, kind of push it back so there's a little more room here. Well, I think I have enough of this area cleared that I can call the concrete place and schedule my concrete pad to be poured. Now, I don't know when they'll be able to come do it, but at least I'll get my name in on the list. It is the afternoon now, and I phoned them about the concrete pad, and he's going to come around this afternoon and have a look at the site and, yeah, check it out. So that's good. You may also have noticed that it is snowing quite hard out. The ground is turning white. So I'm glad I brought all my tropical trees in from the greenhouse inside last night. It's supposed to be quite cool again tonight. The sun is sort of coming out. It's just beautiful out here with the snow. The sun, it's kind of warmed up a bit. There's the Avatar Grove in the winter. Very cool. It is later in the afternoon. It's still snowing just lightly now. The guy from the concrete place came. He said everything's looking good. He suggests I wait a bit until the ground hardens up a bit. He says it's pretty soft, and he thinks, you know, all the vehicles will get stuck. So that's good. He said give me a call when it's dried up and they'll start the work. So hopefully we'll get some good warm sunny days and the ground will firm up a bit and I can get this concrete pad poured. Well, I am slowly making progress in the bonsai area for the new greenhouse. It'll be exciting getting that pad poured and then start the building of it, which I think it'll be tricky, but we'll get it together. After all the yard work today, clearing the spot for the greenhouse, I came into the nice warm plant room here, gave all my trees a really good watering. And that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.